Here's the bottom of the lambretta. Cleaned it up, dumped the oil, and it's still leaking oil from somewhere, so I'm just going to let it sit like this overnight. But I looked at how much it costs to replace tires, and tires are around $40-50 a piece, and it's not in my budget. So I've always thought about doing fake moose tubes. So I'm going to try filling up the tires, and the tubes are just rotten on it, so we'll see what happens. And I'm just going to try some of the gaps and cracks stuff and see if I can get these tires where they're round, since it's just going to be a display model. And this will be my first test, and naturally it'll be on the scooter and not on like some crappy tube, to see how much foam expands. So we'll see what happens. Well, here's the bold experiment. The tube was all hammered from this motorcycle being 50, 60 years old. It's from 1958. So it has, you can see like right there, you can push the tube, and it's been set up for about half an hour. I have a round tire. We'll see what happens. And actually kind of beat it up, but right along here there was basically the tube was cut and the tires. So I tried holding it by hand, but I did that for about 15 minutes and finally figured I'd tape it, C-clamp it, and we'll see what happens in the morning. So maybe I think this will work. Here's the next step. So let it sit overnight, and got the heater going on it. The garage is about 60 degrees, and looks like it might work. We'll see. The tire is round, and see how it cleans up. The front tire should be easier because I think the inner tube is intact. Well, here's the front wheel for the bold experiment, and this one wasn't as bad, but it pretty much looked like that, where it's down to the cords. So here it was popping out, so everything was expanding, and I went and got this stuff, which is big gap filler. So I tried 2 cans of that in here, or a can and a half, to see if there's any difference. So right there you can see that coming out, and then on the rear this stuff is hardened, and then I put my heater on, and then I actually put some more into it. So I'm hoping, once again, that's looking really ugly, but this foam's pretty easy to take off. It'll probably come off with a grinder brush. So right now all I wanted at first was just the tires to be round, and they're round. And now we'll see if we can get some stiffness into them. Poor old lambretta. Here's the right side, all cleaned up and done. And when the cover is on here, on the rear, you're not going to be able to see much of the tire. Actually came out kind of good. And if we put the side cover on, right there, that's what it's going to look like. Here's the right side. So cleaned everything up, and I was gonna spray paint the tires, but I'm leaving everything original on this scooter. So the front's a Pirelli, and there's cord sticking out there and there, but the front was way better than the rear. And this one, I'm not sure if the foam needs more air, because the rear actually hardened up. So this is the one where the side of it from there to there is just ripped out. Same with the tube and pieces right there. And this side is really hard. So I was super happy how that came out, and it actually beat it up. So now I'm just going to put the side panels on, and I've got some little bits coming, but the bolt experiment worked out pretty good. And here's the after. So now it's got some tires on it that will actually stay alive, and glued some of that seat canvas back on. But the next step will be, I'm missing a center stand. Gonna rig something up for that, and the pieces that are missing, and this is that direction that I'm gonna have it going when I put my TV on it. But supposed to be a little handle behind that air vent, which is looks like that. And got a couple of lambretta stickers coming, and just basically just kind of fine tune it. But oh, this thing's just totally cool.